All right, the next chapter, Boys and Girls, is one skull. So they are en route to the treasure. Then in the last chapter, Thea mapped out the path in which they will take. One skull, two skull, and three skulls, which is the next three chapters, all describe an obstacle that they faced when they were heading to the treasure, to find the treasure. So one skull is the first obstacle. And if you think about an obstacle, what does that mean? That means, a problem or something they had to face or something they had to get past. So we should be on page 81. Grab your text if you do not have it. Follow along as I read. All right, let's get busy. It says the plan was to leave at 6 o'clock the next morning, but by 4 o'clock, my cousin was already up and about. Ratoons, we are leaving, Trap shouted through a megaphone made of banana leaves. Thea grabbed a coconut and hurled it at his head. Hurled or threw, right? Do you realize what time it is? She shrieked, chasing him around the shelter. When I catch you, I'm going to use your fur to make earmuffs. So we can figure out that, Thea is feeling how? She's kind of angry, right? Trap just giggled. If you don't hurry, I am going to leave without you, he shouted through the megaphone. I am ready to rock, ready to roll, ready to rumble, ready to party, ready to go, go, go. So Trap, however, feels much different than Thea. Thea is angry. He woke her up. Trap is excited. He's ready to get going. He's ready to find that treasure, okay? Thea was tearing at her whiskers in a rage or an angry fit, right? You are the one who brought him along, she yelled at me. I wanted to say, actually, it was your idea, but I stopped myself. The look in my sister's eyes was murderous. We set out in a single file. We marched all day long, and by evening we came to What's the Point Peak. Thea pointed at the map. We have reached the location of the first skull. Listen to the secret message. If you find a big rock the color of cheese, don't run around. Don't even sneeze. So that message is basically telling them to be very quiet and be very still. Somewhat puzzled, I looked around. This must be the rock on the map, I said, pointing to a round cheddar-colored boulder. It looks good enough to eat. I took a few steps forward, but there is nothing to see here, just some sand. Actually, a whole bunch of sand. I didn't get to finish my sentence. I was beginning to sink. Look at me, I giggled. Hee 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 hee, look at me, the sand has reached my ankles. Oh no, my knees. He doesn't seem too concerned, does he? Thea's eyes opened wide. She was not laughing. Geronimo, I have bad news for you, she called. What bad news? I asked, watching the funny sand. Geronimo, my sister squeaked. I think that's quicksand. I gulped. Thundering cattails, quicksand, I shrieked. Help! The sand had already reached my belly button. Stop flapping your arms, shouted Thea, holding her paw out. But I kept flapping and flapping. Help! I shouted as the sand reached my ears. Trap raced over, carrying a long green vine from a nearby tree. Grab hold of this, cousin, if you ever want to squeak again, he cried. All right, so what do you think? You think Trap's going to save Geronimo or not? So if so, then what did we just learn? Trap, went from being the annoying cousin to saving Geronimo's life, remember, when he fell overboard. And then now it appears that he may save his life twice. So do you think Geronimo's feelings toward Trap have changed? Going from he's annoying, tired of being around him, I can only take him in small doses, to being thankful for him, okay? So what should we write down, boys and girls? What was the first obstacle? What was one skull mainly about? What did they face? They faced a pile of quicksand, right? So that's what you should have written. So check your event map. Make sure that you have something to that effect. It doesn't have to be word for what we said. And then I'll touch base in shortly, okay?